welcome to another video. Today is a pretty special video. We are finally re-gearing the JK. After lots of conversations and lots of research, I finally decided what gear ratio I'm going with, and I found somebody locally to do it. I've done gear changes before, but I don't have the place to do it anymore, and the last time I did it, it didn't turn out too great. So, found a person to do it. They're gonna install them for me, and we'll talk about my gear selection. What did I go with? 488s, 513s, or 538s, and we'll talk about that later. But it's a nice 30 degrees outside, and this is one, as you can tell, this is one of the problems I'm having with the 410s, with the 35s, is I'm not in overdrive, and I'm barely doing it says 80, but my speedometer's off because of the bigger tires. I'm only actually doing about 76 or something like that, and I'm never in overdrive. And I drive this Jeep on the interstate every day, so that's what the gear change is going to be for, is to hopefully get me in overdrive, so I can actually get some MPGs out of this thing. But we're heading there now, and we'll be there shortly. And I'm dropping this thing off, and then I'm going to pick up another Jeep to take back to home that my mom's boyfriend just got done out here. He has a TJ, and I'll show you that when we get there. So stay tuned. The great gear debate, or conversation, I guess you could say. More to go. Alright, so we are here, and we are dropping off the Jeep to get gears done. That's a nice Monte Carlo? I don't know. Nice. Anyways, dropping the Jeep off to get gears put in, and then we're getting this Jeep to drive home. This one just got 488s, chromoly shafts, limit slip in the rear, and a locker in the front. So we're gonna be driving this home and see how that works out. I'm gonna put a winch on the front. Let's see how this works out. Crap about my JK, but man, I tell you what, you get back on one of these TJs or YJs, and you can just instantly forget how spoiled you are in these new Jeeps. Since I'm doing like 85, doubt it, probably doing about 70. I don't really have it floored or anything. You know, it's not my Jeep, so I don't know what to do with that. It's brand new gears. I probably shouldn't be driving on the interstate. I don't think your proper braking procedure is to immediately drive on the interstate after you get a gear done, gear change done. But that's what we're doing. I don't know how I drove before, but it went from 373s, I think, to 488s. So it should be a total difference. It says I'm doing 85, but I'm getting past, so we'll make it home. Lots of smells. Lots of smells.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting, and they had to hire a new one.
And we're back, so for what took you all 5 seconds in a SpongeBob meme, maybe, has taken me, it's been about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks now since I dropped the Jeep off to get those gears installed from the last clip. I've been driving around for about a week now, and so far, the gears are doing pretty good. I'm actually able to use overdrive now, which is great. Before I wasn't able to use overdrive, and cruising about 80, 3,000 RPMs. Actually be able to cruise on the interstate. It's pretty nice. So what gears did I go with? I went with where I have the where I have a JKU Rubicon, where I have a Rubicon. I have Dana 44s. So the Dana 44, you can go to a 538 is the deepest gear you can. So I went ahead and went 538s. I was thinking about 513s, but 538s seemed like a better deal for me. Why not just go the deepest that I can to begin with? Because the 513, the difference between a 513 and a 538 isn't that much, but I want that extra low ratio for driving, because if you have a 3.8, you know they don't have much power, especially when you get to having bigger tires on like a 35, 36, 37, 38. Even when I had the stock tires on here, it didn't do that great. So, but now with 35s, 1250s, I can run 80 mile an hour at 3,000 RPM in overdrive, and I have people on my butt. So, why 538s? Like I said, it's just, the deeper the gear, you might as well go deep, because this engine has literally no horsepower and no torque. I think it has maybe 200 horsepower and maybe 180 foot-pounds of torque from the factory, and that's right at the crank. I have a tune. I'm running a tune right now. It's a 91 octane tune. And it's still not that great. Anyways, what made me want to pick 538s? Well, I asked a lot of people on the forums and Facebook, yeah. It actually picks up speed now. Before, it would just labor. If you ever got any overdrive, which I never did, it would just sit there and labor and like about like 1,500 RPM, and it should be dead. So the 538s really did help. They just should, because that's a lot deeper gear. But I asked a lot of people. I asked a lot of people on forums and Facebook groups and everything what gears, because there isn't really any information out there that I saw. I mean, there's graphs and there's charts, but I mean, I want to actually, get people's reactions and their opinions on daily driving, a Jeep with 513s or 538s. Which I hope this video becomes that, because I like for it to be a source of information. That way people can just look it up and say, oh, okay, this guy got 513s or 538s, and that's what his Jeep did. So, but a lot of people that I talked to and replied said that, they had 513s, and they said, I wish I would have gone 538s. And people that had 538s said that they loved it. So, I just went ahead and went 538s. Now, if I was in this is what, 2010, from a 07 to a 10 with a 3.8, if you have a Rubicon, you might as well just go 538s. Now, with the with 35s or 36s or 37s or 38s, you might as well just go ahead and go deep as you can go. So if you have a 11 and a half to 18, I think it is, for the JK, for the mid-year change with the 3.6, you can get away with 488s, because the engine has way more power and torque, and then the transmission is better too. And then JLs, with the set 8-speed, you can get away with not even regearing because of the 8-speed. You won't be using 8th gear a lot, and it might downshift a lot more, but with that 8-speed, you can get away with it. So, and hopefully you can actually see me because it's getting dark. But if you have any comments, like if you have a Jeep that you've regeared and you got, good information, leave it in the comments down below, and hopefully we can get a thing going down there to have a discussion about gearing. Honestly, You know, this is just a temporary fix, honestly. I mean, that's what most people do. Honestly, I want a V8 or a diesel or something with more horsepower and more torque. This 3.8 just isn't kind of, and there's no point in supercharging or turbocharging a 3.8. There's just no point in it. You're going to spend $4,000 to $8,000 for supercharging or turbocharging. There's just no point in that, I don't think. You can spend the same amount of money and get an LS or a Hemi or something like that for that money. And what's the point? You know, there is no replacement for displacement, as they say. So you just need that torque, that low-end torque. If I had an 8-speed, I think it would be great too, but there's no point in putting an 8-speed behind a 3.8 either. There's no point in that. I don't even know if they make an adapter. I'm sure somebody makes an adapter, but there would be no point. The ideal situation would be, I've been looking at a company called Jeep Speed. Jake from JKU Gear and Axle, he's doing the same, he's doing the swap. So if you want to check it out, go check out his videos. But he's doing a 6.4 or a 392 Hemi with the 8-speed in his JK on 40s, which I think is the go-to. I think that is the go-to. That way you can keep it all Mopar, you can keep it all the same brand. There's nothing wrong with the LS. I know that if you have an 11.5 and newer with the 3.6, doing the LS swapping those is a lot more of a job to get the computers to talk with each other. So honestly, doing just a Mopar to Mopar is probably a better deal. But anyways, so leave your thoughts in the comments, like this video, subscribe if you haven't. Next video I have, we're going to try to get a little bit more power out of this 3.8 to see if I can make it drive a little bit better. I got the 3.8, I got the coil pack for RIP superchargers. It's supposed to give you 8 to 10 more horsepower, and it's supposed to be better. I got that sitting at the house that needs to be installed, and I also got the Viper throttle body, which is a 77mm throttle body that you can get, and I'll put that on there as well to see if it's worth it. You know, is that stuff worth it? Is it even worth anything to, you know, modify your 3.8 to put a, I mean, I already have a cold air intake on this thing now, so is it, you know, is it worth it to put a 3.8, to modify your 3.8 just by doing bolt-ons, not like a supercharger or anything? So stay tuned for that video. That'll be the next video. But yeah, so like I said, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll do another video, or I'll drop a comment in the comments below about miles per gallon. I think I'm getting about, on the interstate, I'm probably going to get about 13 or maybe 14 now. By just rough calculating it, I probably gained 2.5 to 3 miles per gallon. I was down to about 11.5 to 12, depending on how I drove before I did my gear. So I'll do a couple more drives and a couple more tankfuls to see what the average MPGs are. So, but other than that, you know, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in the next one. Come back for the video to see if we can even make this thing run a little bit better. I'd like to make this thing run a little bit better until I can possibly do some kind of engine swap, V8 swap, Cummins swap maybe. I've been really thinking about doing a Cummins swap because, you know, once you get to that kind of territory, this vehicle is not going to be a daily driver anymore. It can still drive, but it ain't going to be a daily driver once you get to the V8s and the bigger tires and stuff. So we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.